This video is brought to you in collaboration with WoWhead.com. Hello everyone! The heroes of Azeroth have assaulted the Tomb of Sargeras, used the Pillars of Creation to seal off that gateway created by Gul'dan, while Illidan, he used the Sargerite keystone to tear a massive rift in reality, showing the world what he had always known.
Sometimes the hand of fate must be forced.
To truly stop the Legion, we'll have to take the battle to them. We have to take a force to Argus, the ancestor home of the Draenei, now turned into the home world of the Burning Legion. Seeing Argus in the sky, it's quite a shock for a lot of people, as some of the citizens in Dalaran, they voice their concerns and they try to get possessions out of the bank before it's too late. The Draenei are walking around, trying to calm everyone down, and they're looking forward to go home again, while the Doomsayers, quite validated, they speak about the end of the world as they always do, handing out pamphlets to anyone willing to listen. Some believe that bowing down and surrendering to Sargeras, who has done nothing wrong by the way, that is the way to go. Others, like Gallywicks and Dalaran apprentices, they try to make a bit of coin out of the situation, while one message did stand out. An emerald sun dawns in the vault of the heavens, but it casts no shadow. Most likely Argus in the sky. The world lifts her voice in terror, but only one can hear her cries. The Titan spirit within Azeroth, with Magni Bronzebeard acting as a speaker, having us help him with calming down our dreams, and also confirming that we have to go to Argus, that the Dark Titan is on his way, and our destiny will be found on the Legion's homeworld. From this space that is everywhere and nowhere, the crooked serpent feasts on stars. It has no eyes to see, but it dreams of infinite endings and beginnings. Hard to say what this one is specifically talking about. It could be related to the Void Lords in the Great Dark Beyond, or perhaps it's hinting at N'Zoth waiting for us down below. A story for another day. Right now, we have the Legion to focus on, and it's the Draenei that have worked on getting us there, so both factions travel to Azure Mist Isle.
At long last, the vessel that will usher us to Argus is complete. Make way to Stormwind Harbor at once. The time has come to bring an end to this war.
We will soon see if the Horde heeds Belen's call. Those savages lack any sense of honor. But they do know how to fight.
We must find the Army of the Light. With them fighting alongside us, the Legion will fall. We must find...
Your mother and father yet live, Arator. I am sure of it. But for now, stay focused on the fight to come. Prophet Velen will be pleased that you answered his call. We Draenei have long awaited this day.
The Legion has run rampant on Azeroth for too long. It is time to see this done.
Looks like they showed up after all.
I see the Alliance answered the call as well.
Verisa still has no love for the Horde, despite our forces now teaming up against the Legion. Not after they took a Ronin from her, while Arator desperately wants to find his parents, Alleria and Turalyon. We'll talk more about the history later on, since Velen is waiting for us.
I've never seen the Draenei assemble a force of this magnitude.
Argus is our ancestral home. We will not see it in the Legion's hands any longer.
Then my parents can finally return home.
Fellow Draenei, champions of Azeroth, the time has come to invade Argus. We will save our world and put a stop to the Burning Legion, once and for all.
The Legion grows desperate. We should strike now, while their attention remains focused on Azeroth.
You are right, Illidan. This may be our best chance to gain the upper hand.
Despite the Exodar supposedly being repaired, as mentioned in Valen's short story, that is not the vessel that we're going to use to get to Argus. Instead, they focus their efforts on a brand new vessel called the Vindicar. Forces like Illidan, Velen, Romul, Lofrexion, Khadgar, Muradin, Aphis, Silgrin, Arator, Verisa, Liadrin, Boros, Lightheart, troops from the hand of Argus, and of course the champions of Azeroth, all of them board the ship and take it into the very heart of the Legion.
All forces are on board and accounted for. The Vindicar will be ready to depart shortly.
After we reach Argus, we will meet with the Army of the Light and begin our invasion.
he understand what you're truly asking of him? Do any of them?
We follow the path of the light, no matter where it leads.
Your faith has always been your weakness. When your closest allies fell to darkness, you didn't stop them. When the Legion swept over your world and took your people, you didn't make a stand. All you did was watch, convinced you were following the light's will. The truth is, you failed your people. Their blood is on your hands.
You will never understand what I did to save my people.
The light is holding you back. It's time to forge your own path.
Prophet, we are ready.
Proceed.
Where is your army of the light?
The Zenadar. Something is wrong.
The cowards have come out of hiding. Bring them down!
Will fire again soon! What are your orders, Prophet?
We make our stand. The last battle for Argus has begun.
Illidan believes that the light is holding Velen back, and how cool was it to see the moment in which Sargeras showed up in Argus, and he offered them a spot within the Legion. Our command was already on board with the Dark Titan, and Kil'jaeden quickly followed, only Velen realized that this was not the way for their people, and with the aid of the Naaru, they ran away from their home. We saw Chief Engineer Ishkar of the Antoran High Command, who aims their weapon at the Zenadar, the vessel of the Army of the Light. Now there's no more running. The time has come to make a stand. We'll be shut down next if we don't act soon, so a bunker is quickly deployed and a vanguard moves out to establish a front. The Draenei are shocked to see what the Legion has done with their world. One of them actually died on arrival. Imagine being on the run for thousands of years, finally to come home, only to die. We can mourn for the fallen later. Right now we have some work to do, as the Legion's devastators, they're bombarding our forces, preventing us from getting any further. By destroying the anchors that keep their shields up, the Vindicaar is able to cleanse it with the holy light, while we also kill a whole bunch of the Legion forces. On the battlefield, we encounter Chieftain Hatun, whose people have been enslaved by the Legion, and they're in need of aid. They are the ones who stay behind on Argus when Velen and the Draenei fled, and they've been dealing with the Legion ever since, so as you might imagine, that's not the easiest life to have. We help him out by healing and saving some of his people, and then we focus on destroying their siege weapon.
There are no guards this close to their weapon? Something is wrong. This is no mere siege weapon.
We must stand together for Azeroth! The Zenadar's fall shall not have been in vain! Hold fast, champion! The Goliath wavers!
Look out! Whatever that thing was, I doubt that was the only one in Sargeras' arsenal. Soon the entire Legion will descend upon us.
We will hold our ground. I only pray there are survivors among the army of the light.
We won't be able to sustain another attack from one of those creatures. We must bolster our forces.
The Krokul slaves fled somewhere further down the ridge as they were freed. They could not have gone far. They could be valuable allies in our fight.
You assume much of their loyalties. Risk your life if you must. I will prepare our forces for the inevitable counterattack.
As you wish. Come, hero. I can feel their presence not far from here. Be on your guard, champion. The Legion is skilled at deception. We may well be walking into a trap. Stay close. We are being watched. This hovel feels familiar. Prepare yourself, champion. We are surrounded. Show yourselves!
Verlin, at long last you return to the home you abandoned.
That voice. Hatun? How did you survive this hell for so long?
We changed, just as Argus did. We endured. What choice did we have?
I have no wish to fight you, Hatun. But I cannot allow your bitterness to impede our war against the Legion.
You turned your back on your people, Prophet. Your world. Such betrayal should be answered with death. But your allies saved many of us from the Legion's grasp. Perhaps you have changed.
Enough!
What's interesting about Hatun and the Krokul, also known as the Broken, is that the Broken that we know, they come from a very specific mixture of magic found on Draenor. As the Horde was fighting their war with the Draenei, Gul'dan and the Shadow Council, they had crafted a special weapon for the siege of Shafrath, which was the last city they still needed to take. The Warlocks had melded their magics with the Red Pox, and the Red Pox is a disease amongst the Orcs with its origin in the Curse of Sepha, and you might remember Sepha as the storyline with the Arakoa on Draenor. So they then tossed this special weapon at the Draenei, and the red mist, it burnt the Draenei skin and it choked the breath from their lungs, but those that actually survived, they found themselves slowly devolved into the Broken, their connection to the light completely severed. Nobundo was the first amongst the Broken, amongst the Draenei even, to find his way to shamanism, and here on Argus, with Hatun and the Krokul, we see a very similar transformation and also a possible connection to shamanism. Perhaps the Legion took the knowledge of Gul'dan's weapon and applied it here on Argus as well, or perhaps it was Argus itself that pushed the Krokul into a similar de-evolution. All the same, we can use all the allies that we can get on Argus, and those that have been around for thousands of years, they will definitely be able to help. We also finally meet Turalyon, face to face for the first time, who has survived the crash on the Xenadar.
Hatun's people saved me from the Xenadar's fall. Many others were not so fortunate. They hold the ground around the crash site, fighting for their lives.
There's much to be done before this nightmare can end, but we need to regroup before we draw more attention from the Legion. Turalyon hands over the signal crystal, which we use to call down a Lightforge beacon to establish a link to our ship.
Turalyon, I am pleased you continue to thwart the Legion's best efforts to kill you. What of Alleria? Is she...
The last time I saw her was on the Xenadar. She was still under guard. Alleria's out there somewhere, old friend, I know it. And other survivors as well. But thousands of demons stand between us and our allies. We must thin the Legion's ranks to have any hope of reaching the Xenadar alive.
Then that is what we will do, High Exarch.
the human Turalyon, and his beloved Alleria Windrunner, the High Elf, they met up as the Alliance of Lordaeron was forced to fight the Horde during their first invasion of Azeroth. The Alliance were able to win that war, but the Horde would come back for the second round, forcing the Sons of Lothar to step through the Dark Portal to take the battle to the Horde. Alleria left behind her two sisters, Verissa and Sylvanas Windrunner, but both of them said farewell to the sun Arator. They were eventually forced to shut down the Dark Portal on Draenor's side, as the planet turned into Outland as we know it today, and for the longest of time, nobody knew what had happened to them. We couldn't find them, not even when the Dark Portal reopened with the Burning Crusade. Not even Khadgar was able to tell us what was going on with his friends, but that knowledge hasn't stopped Arator from searching. He constantly has a repeating dream, one in which a crimson skyline envelops him as Legion, numbering beyond comprehension, they battle in the distance. He kneels before the body of a man, presumably his father, and he weeps. As he's gasping for air, his body wholly crushed, he whispers something. Despite every effort, he's unable to hear what he's trying to tell him. Over the years, as expansions went on, many hints were dropped about Alleria and Turalyon. Now with Legion, we finally make contact again, as the Army of Light, they send over Lightheart to Azeroth to bring a message, and here he tells us that the Army of Light has been fighting the Legion for millennia. Of course, it's hard to say if they were founding members of the Army of Light or if they joined later on, but some dialogue throughout our adventures, it does seem to confirm that they've been fighting for thousands of years, while on the regular timeline, they've only been missing for around 35. The reason for that is explained in the Hunter artifact questline, in which we discover that this deep in the Nether, time flows unpredictably.
Was she here for days? Years? Centuries? The mage was right. Time has little meaning in this place.
That does leave the question as to how they've survived for so very long, especially Turalyon as a regular human. But for now, the reason I'd give it is that the light has been keeping him going, but I haven't found a clear answer yet. Now together with Turalyon, we help out Hatun and his people by slaying the demons in the Annihilum pits, while also setting those that have been taken captive free, freeing them from a life of labor, torture, and ultimately death. Meanwhile, Turalyon carves a path to Agonar's lair, the leader of the pit, whose dead bones you might remember seeing in Outlands.
Whatever happens, we stand together.
Together, we fight the mighty Pit Lord, while Turalyon is constantly screaming to keep his attention, until Agonar, he's done playing around and holds us down while his fell puppies slowly move in to devour us.
Alleria. Perfect timing, as always.
Thankfully, Alleria Windrunner shows up just in time to save our butts, and together, we bring the mighty demon down.
Are you all right, Turalyon?
I am. In no small part thanks to our friend here. But Alleria, there's something else. When the ship from Azeroth arrived, I sensed his presence. I would know it anywhere, even after all the years we've spent apart.
Arator. He's here. Every day, for 1,000 years, I've thought about what I wanted to say to him. Now, though, words fail me.
I know, my love. I feel the same. But once we see our son, our hearts will speak for us.
But couldn't you have reached out to us? To your people? To me?
Arator, not a day passed that your mother and I didn't...
Every choice we made was to keep you safe. It broke our hearts to be apart from you.
They put a lot of emphasis on the family dynamic here, while Arator, he was never really mentioned in the lore until they came up with him for the Burning Crusade. I wonder what the reason for that is, if that dream of his is actually going to become a reality, but only time will tell, I suppose. For now, we check out the Vindicaar to familiarize ourselves with the ship. Artificer Shalana, she's standing with the Netherlight Crucible. High Priestess Ishana, leader of the Aldor, is offering her services as an innkeeper. And Telbus Wimbledonut, he's conjured a portal back to Dalaran. All seems to be in working order. Time to continue our journey and get back to Argus. Any survivors of the Army of the Light, they should still be near the crash site of the Xenadar, and they'll need our help. If there is to be any hope of victory, we must rally them together and also rescue the Prime Naaru Zera, who's still stuck within the Xenadar.
We didn't come, son. There is so much more we have to say. But our allies at the Xenadar will soon be overrun.
You must go to their aid, Turalyon. I will scout behind enemy lines and provide a distraction. We will return soon, Arator.
I understand. Light be with you both.
Stay safe. We will gather the others and prepare for the battle to come.
It pains me to see them go, Aunt Verisa. I could not bear to lose them now. Not after waiting all these years.
Have patience, Arator. It may take time, but your family will be whole again. I know it.
No doubt my mother will soon ask about Sylvanas. What are you going to tell her?
It is a conversation I know we must have, but the thought of it fills me with dread. How can I explain to Alleria what our sister has become? The truth will break her heart.
My scouts found the remains of Agunar. We are in your debt, High Exarch. And yours, Outlander.
The Legion will only fall if we stand together, Chieftain. And right now, we have friends facing grave peril.
There is a way. We will use what power we have to help you.
A tunnel? So, this is how you have survived.
We have hidden. We have adapted. In our hour of need, this land still listens to our pleas.
I will go on ahead and clear a path. The bridge leading to the Zenadar seems to be the least guarded. Light be with us!
Tunnels, mates. That is how we survived the Wrath of Sargeras and the Legion. A whole new world just opened up for our man Turalyon.
You're not going anywhere, champion! The Master has plans for you!
Not today, monster! The light prevails!
Faria, you survived!
You know that I refuse to die while the Legion still stands, High Exarch. Follow me. We've set up a perimeter.
The Army of the Light is filled with badasses like Captain Faria, who just one-shotted Tarafash like it was nothing. They have Lightforged warframes to empower them in combat. Their eyes are glowing with the blessing of the light, and no demon is going to stand in the way of their objective. They need us to pick up some Argonite crystals used to power their defenses and weapons. We destroy the Legion's soul covers to set their fallen comrades free to join the light. And while we go around, we also slay as many demons as we can. All of them tell us to keep an eye out for Ymera, who was separated from them and will surely need our help. Turns out that she needs us to shoot a bunch of the frenzied plague winds dominating the sky, after which she points us to Barat the Longshot, who's been trying to get into the Zenadar, but the entrance been blocked. We'll need a bigger gun to clear all the rubble. They have a gun perfect for the job called Light's Judgment, but it's still attached to the broken Zenadar. Luckily for us, it does come with a security feature to prevent it from falling into enemy hands. We can activate its recall mechanism, which then teleports it back to a vessel, and with the Zenadar out of commission, it will teleport to Arvin the Kar. Isn't that lucky? So we protect the weapon for a bit as the recall procedure goes on, making sure that the gun does not end up in the hands of the Legion.
That should be it. Just activate the console one last time to complete the transfer. I will handle the rest.
Light's Judgment is operational and in our hands. With its holy retribution, we clear the way into the Zenadar, just in time for Turalyon and Alleria to show up again.
Light guide. I sense Zira in the central chamber. Oh, thank the light. We are not too late.
And what then? I was locked in a cell for delving into the void against her wishes. Will she make me a prisoner again? Or worse?
Zira will see that you risked your life to save her. Her faith in you will be restored. I know it.
Turalyon is pretty relaxed about the situation, considering that his beloved Alleria, she was put under lock and key for going against Zera's wishes.
Zira, don't worry. You are safe now. Come, champion. Help me guide her to the Vindicar. Then we can get out of here.
He is convinced that the Prime Naaru will forgive her, as we place 3 teleportation crystals around the room, making ready to get out of here.
We didn't come. Our troops will finish securing the Zenadar. Though we retrieved its most precious cargo, we cannot let the vessel fall into the Legion's hands. Place the beacon at my location. We're coming home.
Light be praised. This was a dark day indeed. The army of the light nearly lost everything, but it will endure. The child of light and shadow has been brought to the Light Mother, and her prophecy will be fulfilled. All is as it was meant to be.
The light is holding you back. It's time to forge your own path.
That, however, is a story we're going to save for next week, as there's still so much to cover for the story in Argus. So for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you want some more details about all the things that we talked about today, then check out the related WoWhead article in the description down below. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time guys, see ya!